Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. We are now in one of the most unpredictable moments for millions of Americans relying on food assistance, and I need to talk to you about something really important that's happening right now. Millions of families are feeling the impact of these changes. Grocery costs keep climbing, states are struggling to distribute benefits on time, and now President Trump is proposing a brand new expansion to SNAP that could reshape how this program works entirely. But here's why I'm making this video today, because depending on what happens with this new plan, it could either completely fix food insecurity in America or make things even harder for those who need help most. And if you depend on SNAP, SSI, SSDI, or any kind of federal support, or you're just trying to understand what's going on, you need to hear this. I spent hours reading through the actual proposal, the USDA statements, and lawmakers' reports, so you don't have to. And I'm going to break down exactly what this expansion is, who it helps, who it doesn't, and what it really means for you. So grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in, because this one's complicated, it's messy, and it affects way more people than most realize. Okay, here's what's happening. President Trump's new proposal, which he's calling the SNAP Freedom Act, aims to expand benefits for certain low-income households while restructuring how the money is distributed. The official outline says it would redirect federal nutrition funding to ensure working families, seniors, and veterans get higher monthly payments, even if it means cutting back on administrative programs that don't directly provide food. Now, what does that actually mean? Essentially, the Trump plan would increase monthly SNAP benefits by an estimated $75, $150 per household for qualifying recipients, but only if states agree to certain work and reporting rules. The proposal is designed to prioritize what he calls active economic participation. That means if someone is working part-time in job training or caring for dependents, they would receive enhanced benefits automatically. Sounds good, right? Well, hold on, because here's where it gets complicated. Democrats and several anti-hunger organizations are already warning that this plan could exclude some of the most vulnerable households, especially seniors and disabled adults who can't meet work reporting requirements. Republicans, on the other hand, argue that the plan rewards responsibility while expanding the program to include more working families struggling with inflation. And honestly, both sides have valid points. If you're working, you should get help putting food on the table, but that doesn't mean people who can't work should be left behind. The political fight is already heating up. As of this week, the Senate Agriculture Committee is reviewing the proposal, and early reports suggest a vote could happen as soon as next month. It would guarantee SNAP funding even during government shutdowns, making it one of the first safety net programs protected from budget interruptions. That's a big deal, especially after what we saw last time when millions worried they wouldn't get their EBT reloads on time. Second, it would increase monthly benefits for households with children and seniors, but tie those increases to stricter fraud prevention and identity checks. Third, it would transfer some SNAP administration power back to the states, allowing governors to design their own pilot programs using federal funds. That part is controversial. Some experts say it could lead to innovation. Others warn it could lead to inequality between states, depending on how generous or strict local governments decide to be. Now, let's talk about real people, because this isn't just politics on paper. I spoke to a friend whose parents rely on SNAP and SSI. Their food budget barely lasts 2 weeks each month. Under this proposal, they'd likely see an increase in benefits, but they're also nervous that if the new verification process is too strict, they could lose access temporarily while their paperwork is reviewed, and that's the real issue: implementation. Expanding SNAP sounds great, but the transition could be messy. Some states are already behind on renewals and recertifications, and if new eligibility rules are added too fast, people could get caught in the cracks. This is where Trump's plan either succeeds or fails, whether the expansion helps people right away, or whether bureaucracy slows it all down. Let's look at who's most affected. Working families, they stand to gain the most. Households earning below the poverty line but with at least one working adult could receive higher monthly allotments. Seniors, benefit increases are likely, but reporting rules could make it harder for older adults who struggle with online verification. Disabled Americans on SSI or SSDI, they would keep full eligibility, but may need to recertify more often to stay qualified. Veterans. Veterans with low incomes could see expanded automatic eligibility across all states. Children and single parents, some of the biggest winners, with higher allowances for school-age kids. But here's where the political reality hits. Democrats argue that this SNAP Freedom Act gives too much discretionary power to the executive branch, letting the president decide how states implement rules. Senator Bernie Sanders said earlier this week, "We can't let a president decide who eats and who doesn't." Republicans say the exact opposite, that the plan simply lets states innovate and gives flexibility to help more people. Either way, this bill needs 60 votes in the Senate to move forward, and as of right now, it doesn't look like it has enough support from both sides. So, what's most likely? If the bill fails, the ideas in it aren't going away. Lawmakers are taking notes, and many believe we'll see a scaled-down version of this proposal come back next year as part of the next Farm Bill negotiations. That means SNAP expansion, in some form, is probably coming. The only question is how much funding it gets and who will qualify. Now, I want to talk about what you should do right now. Check your benefits portal. Log into your state's SNAP account and confirm your recertification date and contact info. Plan ahead for delays. Even if this expansion passes, implementation will take time. Expect changes to roll out in phases. Find your local food resources. Know where your nearest food banks and community meal programs are. Contact your lawmakers. If you support or oppose the expansion, tell your representatives how these changes could impact you. Real stories influence votes. Stay informed. The situation is changing fast. Updates could drop any day. Here's the truth. Whether this plan passes or not, this moment is a turning point. For decades, SNAP has been treated as a quiet background program, but right now, it's at the center of the national debate over poverty, work, and the economy. And it's about more than just politics. It's about families being able to eat. It's about dignity. It's about stability. Whether you agree with Trump's expansion idea or not, this is a wake-up call. Food insecurity in America is not a fringe issue. It's affecting tens of millions of households every single month. So here's my honest take. Can it actually work? Maybe. If it's implemented carefully with strong oversight and real protection for seniors and the disabled, it could be one of the biggest positive SNAP reforms in decades. But if it's rushed or politicized, it could create chaos, delays, denials, and missed payments when people need them most. That's why we'll be watching this story very closely. Look, I know this stuff can feel overwhelming. You're trying to keep food on the table, deal with rising prices, and make sense of government programs that change every few months. But knowledge is power, and that's why we're here. By watching this video, you're already staying ahead of the curve. You understand what's coming, and you're preparing. So please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll keep you updated the moment there's movement on this vote, the SNAP expansion, or any new benefit changes coming for SSI, SSDI, or Social Security recipients. And before you go, drop a comment below. Are you in favor of this SNAP expansion? Do you think it will actually help, or do you see more problems coming? I read every single comment, and your experiences help shape these updates. If you depend on these benefits, you deserve clarity, you deserve stability, and you deserve to know what's happening before it happens. Thanks for watching, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video with more updates as soon as they come in. Cash in homeowners in U.S. state to get immediate tax relief and cash refunds under new fairness law. Check bills for eligibility. Homeowners in the U.S. are set to receive immediate tax relief and cash refunds as part of a new fairness law, and you need to check your bills to see if you're eligible. Governor Matt Meyer signed the reforms which provide relief to Delaware homeowners with soaring tax bills following a statewide property reassessment. The laws are designed as stopgap fixes, which will help families who were hit by from sudden tax hikes after the state's first major property reassessment in over 40 years. Meyer signed off the new measures in the early hours of August 13th, just hours after a dramatic late-night session at the state legislature. Thousands of households in Newcastle County, Delaware's most populated area, saw their bills skyrocket this year, while many businesses ended up paying less. The reassessment reportedly shifted a lot of the tax burden onto residential properties. One of the biggest changes now allows school districts to set split tax rates. This will give one rate for homeowners and another for commercial properties. Schools will now increase businesses' share of taxes in order to reduce the pressure on households. Officials say locals should see less expensive bills once the new rates are in place. Thanks for watching, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video with more updates as soon as they come in.